Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing well. Haven't made a video in a few days. Just want to talk about the flash crash on Bitcoin. There was a flash crash, so last time we talked we said it was a bit extended, that it was a bit overly extended. So what ended up happening is in about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, or I think it was like 10 minutes, it ended up losing like 11k, so 11,000. It dropped 11,000 in uh, about 10 minutes or so. It's sorry, just moving my mouse here. Got two mouses plugged in. Okay, hopefully this one works. So this is what day was it? Today's 19th. It was a couple days ago. I think it was on Sunday. Was it on Saturday or Sunday? We'll just have a look. So yeah, here it is right here. So I think in like 10 minutes it dropped from like about 60k, it dropped down to like 50, or was it 61, something like that. It happened in like pretty short time span, so we did talk about that in the last video if you haven't watched it. So there was that flash crash candle. We talked about that kind of denoting some kind of crash that's stirring up, because we said that was the biggest flash crash candle that we saw through this whole run, that it just kind of flashed in like 5 minutes. It dropped maybe like 5,000 in just like, maybe not even 5 minutes, like maybe a couple seconds. Within that 5-minute time frame, it just dropped really quick. We never got a chance to go on the 5-minute or 1 minute going back, because that would take a while. But as I mentioned, like through this whole run, there was never any candle like that dropped so quick. Maybe this one now, so it might be signaling another drop to come. So again, we did talk about Bitcoin being very extended on the 1 month candles. So as you can see, we had a run here. We had a break of 13. We had a run. Now from that monthly average price, we've kind of drifted quite far away. Again, last time we had a run. Once we drifted quite far, did retrace for several months, actually for several years, well, for like 2-3 years, at least two and a half, like about 3 years almost, at least till there, right, before we got a new break. But that is a pretty big red candle. You know, we could see some more, because once monthly algorithms start to cross over, it's not too good. You know, they could go for a while. That's what we talked about. Unfortunately, I've run out of indicators on here. I don't have premium anymore, but there is a few more things I would like to have. But basically, we can see that we'll just talk about the weekly actually. So the weekly MACD, the default, it wants to cross over, as you can see. Again, there is the divergence that we talked about. So the diverging histogram, that's actually gotten worse this week. Super low. That might have signaled a crash too. But then we had the rising signal line and the declining histogram. And then on top of that, we had the rising, that's a zero line, I'm not sure the exact word for that. But we had the increase in price. So we had the continued, well, it starts back from here, so you could just connect that there. Say that's going like that. And I guess the histogram doesn't really decline till there, but we did have the price continually moving up for several weeks or several months, while the indicators have the bearish momentum has been showing for a while that, you know, this run could be starting to slow down. That's what we've been talking about for a while. It's really clear on here. we'll talk about Dogecoin in a sec. But as you can see, we talked about that before. There's a lot of divergence, right? We got the histograms going lower. We got the signal lines moving higher. So we got the signal lines moving higher. We got the price moving higher, and then we got the default RSI moving down, sloping down to negative infinity. And again, we have the decrease in volume as the price moves up. That's also a strong signal of bearish divergence. See how the volume has decreased. So every week we've moved up. So when we broke up here, the volume, like, it broke down, and then the price, it moved up, right? So it broke down, the volume lowered whilst the price moved up. So that's what's been happening. You can see how it looks on the 1 month. Same thing as the well, I guess it kind of maybe starts back here, but not really. Maybe from here to here a little bit, but here's some really strong volume divergence. We can see that volume heavily decreasing as the price is heavily moving up, and that's mostly just FOMO retail investors. So if you don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. So the FOMO retail investors, right? That's when they started buying, maybe around Christmas, maybe after Christmas. That's when the FOMO, look, we're already quite far from the average price at that point, but we did have a break. But that's when the FOMO retail investors started to buy. That's when the pump started to happen. That's when Elon Musk was tweeting about it. Then at one point he tweeted, maybe here, he said, well, price is high. Then it had that crash. Then now we've kind of started to sell off. So it's kind of there. I would not buy right now. I'd wait for a cheaper price. I think this could be coming down, because just have a look. It's not something just to go off, but have a look at that default RSI, right? It's way up here. You don't want to be buying here. You want to try to get that below here, but you probably won't, because it hasn't gone there. But you want to try to get at least at that support right there. Sorry, that line's not good. But you want to try to get at the RSI support. See that? You want to try to get something around there, at least, right? The minimum. And you want these other indicators, you want these to be down here. Just an example, right? You might have your own indicators or whatever, but you definitely want to buy in the oversold zone, not in the overbought zone. At least some kind of sign that it's oversold, right? Whether it's a retrace to that average price or kind of like a dive below. So here you can see that blue line, so it kind of dips down, right? Maybe a dive below. That's where you want to kind of look. Who knows how hard it is going to get sold off, but at least from here to here, right? At least down there, right? And if it breaks down, it could break down for a while. And as we said, these lines will move down as the average. So once the average price declines, so when the price starts, if it moves down, or like when it starts to, these lines will kind of inflect over and start going down too. So the average price will decrease. So this blue line could be going down here, price could maybe be going down there. You know what I mean? So that could occur. So that's just basically my perspective on it. I've been quite consistent on the perspective for a while now. If you've been watching, I've said that it's not a good time to buy Bitcoin. I definitely wait. You can always get a better price if you wait. Anyways, there's something stirring up here. On the 4 hour, we kind of got a decline of, we got a fake out here, another fake out, another fake out. So we could see another, maybe a dive, a break below 50. We can get into the 40s maybe. Then you might see some fear, some panic, right? People want to take profit at that point. Maybe especially the bigger companies and stuff that are heavily invested, they might want to, once they realize they can have a lot more profit at this point than later on, then they're going to start cashing out, right? So that could occur. That could definitely happen. That's why the price would fall. That's pretty much the only reason why it would fall, is that there would be like severe profit taking. Companies would just start taking profits and just closing out of this trade. Banks, hedge funds, all that stuff, they just quickly close out. You could definitely see a breakdown to 40, into the 40s, right? Like imagine a wick like that, and then another wick like that. So that could happen, especially if they really want to get out of positions quickly, right? Bitcoin's a liquid asset, so you could easily exit the position. You can cash out and change it to US dollars, whatever, Canadian, euros, pounds, really quickly. That's probably one of the reasons why people like it. So there will be a bearish phase. We'll just talk about Dogecoin. So when I did make the video last time, I think we were about 30,000. You can check. I mean, sorry, 30 cents. It went down to about 20 cents, and then now it's kind of. But notice how this candle closed lower than that candle, right? It closed lower, and this candle is closed lower. So, there's kind of strong resistance here. Again, we're floating high up here. Average price for the dailies down here. We'll talk about the weekly. Look, these haven't even crossed over yet, right? They cross up. They have to cross back down eventually, right? This is kind of like throwing a ball up into the air, right? You throw it up into the air, and then eventually it goes up, it goes up, it goes up, and then it just goes flat. Then it starts to go down, right? When it goes flat, that's when the sell-off momentum starts. So before the inflection point. So basically, there is some divergence here to note. Is there still divergence? Yeah, there's still divergence. So you can see, give me a ray. So you can see, look, there's the peak right there. It's at 98, or like almost 98. Don't worry about the, well, I guess you can look at the number. That's important. But I mean, like, don't worry about the specifics of the exact decimal or whatever. Just have to eyeball it. So have a look, see that peak here? It's higher, and that peak is lower. So if there's any way I can show the slope of that from this peak to that peak, whatever that is, 90. Okay, what does it actually say? I'm not sure. So it's at 94, and this peak's at like 98, give or take one point, something like that. Now have a look. While that moved lower, have a look at the price. It just had a huge explosion. Now this candle beside it has closed lower so far. It hasn't broken out of that, right? So there is a chance for this to cross back down into here, down to there, down to there, down to there, down to there, and maybe get bought up around here. And if it's going deep, because have a look at the default RSI, it's up there, right? It's way up there. So this could have a decline for a long time. Maybe it might even follow Bitcoin, right? Who knows? It might be following Bitcoin for a while before it gets bought up, because right now it's getting pumped. It's getting pumped. This is not algorithmic. This is a pump. This is like a news pump. Excuse me. So there's like a news pump. So like Elon Musk, he's pumping it. He's saying buy it. People are buying it. It's called a pump. So when the pump fades, it's going to drop, because he's probably going to take profits, or people will just take profits at that point when they don't think it's going any higher. So when that happens, you're going to see a decline for a while, at least until it gets bought up again, or if it really wants to continue and follow Bitcoin. That's the thing, because usually cryptos kind of follow like Bitcoin, right? But again, on the 1 month, there's not enough data on Dogecoin. I swear I saw some in 2017, but I don't know why it's not showing up. It's almost like it's been manipulated or something. But anyways, I'll just remove all those lines. But we do have some stuff on the monthly. At least, there's other indicators that I want to have, but I've run out. But these could definitely go back down, maybe probably not down here, but maybe around here, and get bought up for the next run. And you want to look for the break of overbought to neutral. You want to look for the break of neutral to below neutral, and then you want to look for the break of from neutral to oversold, and then it's gonna hover right and oversold, and then it's gonna get bullish again. So that could take a while, probably not that long, but there'll be a better time to buy after the pump. That's what I think. Then we'll see a break of neutral to overbought, and then break of overbought, break of neutral to almost overbought, and then a break of overbought to overbought. So that cycle could occur. Again, there's a lot. This could so you have a look at the EMA 9. It's down here, right? And when the price starts moving down, that's going to come down. So we'll probably see a close below eventually. And definitely keep your eye on the weekly. We definitely will see these cross back over. Especially we'll see this cross back over. Eventually you'll see the cross back over. So that's where you want to buy. Again, you want to buy when the bars are red. Same for this, faster settings. You want to buy when is there anything here? Yeah, so you want to buy here, right? When it's before it goes up. That's, well, not obviously, but you want to buy when the histogram is inflecting to negative infinity. You don't want to buy when it's already inflected up to negative infinity and it's ready to come down. That's the whole point. That's called a pump. That's when the FOMO investors buy. So just to show you again on Bitcoin. So have a look. This is the weekly, so we can go to the monthly. Eventually there will be data for Doge. It could just take a while, or if you can find another ticker symbol, that'll work. Or if you can find monthly data, that would help. I don't see anything on TradingView right now, but anyways, you want to buy when it's inflected to negative infinity. So I would just say like negative infinity histogram, you want to buy when it's below the 0 line. So I don't think there's a coloring tool here. Is there? Stay in drawing mode. Brush. Okay, here we go. Can I draw? Okay, so this right here. This is it. That's the negative infinity zone to buy. So I'll zoom in. That's where you want to buy. You don't want to buy here. That's definitely risky. Putting yourself in a risky situation. You don't want to do that. You want to buy when it's safe, right? So have a look. It's all that right here. That's all the negative infinity histogram. I'm not sure the exact terms, but I'm just saying it from math. So the same thing is over here. That's all negative infinity histogram would be a safer area to buy in here. Maybe not the first bar, but at least buying here is better than buying over here, right? It's a place to start. It's not a for sure. I mean, it's better than, it's for sure, but it's not the exact point. You work in, right, from the bigger time frames, then you go to the week, to the day, if you're actually looking for the exact inflection point. So you want to, again, here's another one. That was the last one before the bull run. So now there definitely will be another opportunity, even if it's here. But I'm thinking, it'll come down between here and there. So if there was an average, I'll just remove those. If there was an average price between here, that peak, and that peak here, that peak, let's just say that lowest peak from 2018, if there was an average between there and there, I'd definitely say the price is going to go back there, for sure. It's going to go down there, and it's going to look for support somewhere in there. And some average price from this peak to that peak, it's probably going to be there. And if it's going to break, then it's going to be between that point and that point. then it's just gonna keep averaging out till eventually there's gonna be support. So I think it's gonna come down there. Keep your eye on it. This video is getting long, so yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Take care.